Hello again, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the White Collar Players Immersive Mod Series. In today's episode, we look at adjusting the acoustics of the Commonwealth, along with a few other miscellaneous changes. We are very excited you all could join us today, so let's go ahead and get the show started. Better Cooking Stations by Steve 40 is a fantastic overhaul of cooking in the wasteland. Its primary purpose is to add more immersive visuals and sounds to currently existing cooking stations in the Commonwealth, but it also adds several entirely new versions as well. Placing these cooking stations in your settlement allows any settlers assigned to them to become food vendors. Another great realism feature introduced by Better Cooking Stations is that each of the different stations now have their own appropriate recipes associated with them. For example, you can no longer cook omelets and soups at a huge roasting pit. If you're curious about which cooking stations accept which recipes, there's a handy chart provided by the mod author on the Nexus page. We love these immersive adjustments to cooking, and the bonus sound effects and visuals really add to the atmosphere of using the different stations to cook your meals. We would like to give one piece of advice regarding installation of Better Cooking Stations. If you are following along with our load order, you will also need to install patches for Animated Drinking, Give Me That Bottle, Far Harbor, and Nuka World. You should place Better Cooking Stations pretty high on your load order with the other mods after it, and the patches placed after these other mods. Generally speaking, your load order should resemble this format. This is a fantastic mod by Steve 40, and it adds a great layer of immersion to an otherwise mundane aspect of the game. BCS is even available for those of you on Xbox One. Continuing with another work by Steve 40, we have Swinging Animated Meatbags. Much like Better Cooking Stations, this mod attempts to bring some life and realism to an otherwise mundane aspect of the Commonwealth. Now, the various gore bags found around super mutant camps will swing realistically in the breeze with an added sound effect, and those sitting on the ground will have flies buzzing and swarming around. While this may not seem like a huge change to your game, it adds an incredible atmosphere to exploring and trying to survive in the grotesque and horrifying layers of one of the Commonwealth's most fearsome enemies. As you climb to the top of Trinity Tower, the sounds of the bags swaying in the wind and the flies picking apart the corpses within really makes you consider how many victims these mutants must have claimed to fill all of these nets, and you can only hope that you won't be their next one. If you should find yourself in the remote northeastern town of Far Harbor, you might notice another ship moored at the Far Harbor docks. Courtesy of Alex Ramon, the Red Wave is ready for a new captain. This marvelous boat doubles as a means of travel and a player home. A handy terminal found next to the ship's helm contains a lot of useful information for the new owner, including how to fuel it and how to use the different amenities found aboard. All of the containers are safe for storage, and the power armor station functions perfectly, except if you are traveling with your power armor, you will need to wear it while driving the ship, otherwise it will get left behind. The ship's onboard computer only accepts pre-programmed destinations, including anchorings in Far Harbor and the Commonwealth. The Red Wave was originally created by Thor's Hand 11, and Alex Ramon has revitalized the mod after the original version fell out of date. Tanner, the first mate aboard the ship, is a nod to the original creator of the Red Wave. This is an excellent lore-friendly option for fast travel, and we are very grateful to Alex Ramon for his contribution to our travels around the wasteland. For those of you on Xbox One, the Red Wave is also available for your game as well. If we had one suggestion for this mod, we would like to see a small preliminary quest or price added to it before acquiring full access to the ship. Perhaps a task to find a particular part to power the ship that can only be gathered from a similar sunken vessel off the coast, or maybe Tanner charges a steep price to become his new captain. However, this mod functions extremely well as is, and we cannot wait to cruise the seas in the Red Wave. By far the largest mod in today's show, we have Commonwealth Warfare, Explosions, and Commonwealth Warfare Gun Sounds and Bullet Cracks, both by Quasimodo619. We would like to thank Korma Storm, who suggested these mods for us in the comments of Episode 8, and Shady Lemon in the comments of Episode 9. The purpose of Commonwealth Warfare is to overhaul combat at a fundamental level by adjusting the acoustics. With Commonwealth Warfare Explosions, you can expect anything that blows up to send out a shockwave that resonates against the environment in both a realistic and awe-inspiring manner. Frag mines, grenades, cars, and mini-nukes all now explode with a sound that matches their destructive force. We chose to also install the No Ears Ringing optional file because we feel that the sound of these new explosions accomplishes that effect already, especially if playing with headphones. And we mean that in the best way possible. The sound of a mine going off in a close quarters encounter now sounds like it is as dangerous as it actually is. With the Explosions version of Commonwealth Warfare, you can expect explosions of any kind to have an immersive and realistic effect which really draws you into your combat experience. In a similar manner, the Gun Sounds and Bullet Cracks version of Commonwealth Warfare makes flying bullets sound like the death-carrying ballistics that they are. When a sniper's round slices the air as it barely misses your head, the first thing you'll now notice is the crack of it as the shockwave moves past you. These sound effects make the hair on the back of your neck stand up as rounds start flying in firefights, and taking cover around a corner as machine gun fire whizzes past you has never seemed more chilling. We also chose to install the optional suppressed 10mm replacement sound file, which gives a more realistic sound to the weapon. These new sound effects adjust the very core of combat to make for a much more immersive experience, and we thank Quasimodo619 for this amazing addition to our game. Companions Go Home by Registrator2000 fixes what we consider to be a massive oversight by Bethesda. This simple yet elegant mod allows you to return a companion to their original home. So now Piper can return to manage the public, Nick can continue working on cases at the detective agency, Deacon can go back to spying for the railroad, and so on. There are two options when installing this mod. We chose to use the console version for its lightweight and simplicity, even though it may not be the most intuitive method. To send a companion back to their original home with this option, you must first make that person your active companion and then open the console, enter CQF Home Reset. You'll receive a notification if it worked properly. Then you need to speak to your companion and tell them to leave. When the settlement selection menu pops up, simply press Tab to exit the menu without selecting a location, and your companion will return to their original home. A fantastic fix by Registrator2000, and we are glad we can now let our companions get back to their normal lives. We hope you have enjoyed our show today and that you found a couple of items to include in your load order. Thank you all very much for watching, and please remember to leave an endorsement for any mod that you download and enjoy. As always, we welcome any feedback or mod suggestions in the comments below, and we look forward to seeing you next time for another episode in the White Collar Players Immersive Mod Series.